Hello.
Hi.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello,
Good
everyone.
morning. Hello. Hello, everybody. Good to see you.
Yes. Okay, so we have someone on here who is called Zoom user. Who are you?
Hello.
Hello. Okay. It's
I'm not a Zoom user, right?
yeah, you're a Zoom user. You're Lorato number two.
Okay. Okay. Hi,
That's
everyone.
hi. Okay, I'm going to change your name on here, okay?
Okay.
All right. Welcome everyone. Hello, hello. Okay, well, how about let's already, I know we have more people who will be hopping on, but you guys were on time, early even. I am impressed. Um, you don't know, but that is an unusual thing in my classes. Like, what? Wow, lots of people not only on time but early. This is cool. So I commend you. Good job. So how about let's just start off. Let's start introducing ourselves, okay? And then as other people hop on, then they can do the same. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to give your name, where you're coming from, like where you live or are currently at anyway. And then also why you decided to join the class. Okay. I am going to start with Pearl.
Hi, everyone. I'm Pearl Jones. I live in Essex, England. Essex is the largest county in England. And was the third question why I'm doing the course, Christine? I missed that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, I am so excited to be doing this course because I have done Christine's Engage in Heaven, sorry, classroom. Oh, Christine, I even forgot the name of the last course I was on.
I think you were in Ministry 201 in Kohen
Finish.
Gadol. Yeah.
That's right. And when Christine mentioned that this season, certainly in my life, would be on healing, I thought I've got to get onto that. I mean, who does not need divine healing?
Truth. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, could you nominate someone else to go next, please?
Sure. Loretto. Loretto with the high vis.
Okay. I had two devices connected. That's why you were having the two Leratos.
Yes.
And I'm busy fixing that. It is resolved. I just need to log in again. My screen is missing. I'm looking for it. Can somebody go, please?
I
Okay.
choose River.
Thanks,
Okay.
Rod.
Okay. It's okay now. Should I go on?
Hi, I'm River, and I live on the Olympic Peninsula in the state of Washington, in Port Angeles, right on the border. Like I look out my window, I see Canada. It's a small town. And what was the next question? Why I'm doing this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
why the heck are you here, River?
Well, the Lord told me to be, ultimately, because I was thinking, I don't have time, I don't have money, all that. And the Lord told me to. So, hey, and I'm so happy to be with you guys again because it's been a while since I've done a Kohen Gadol class, and I really love the fellowship and the connection. So, and
Awesome.
I choose Nydia.
Hey.
Good morning, everybody. I
Hi.
love to see new faces and not old faces, but you know what I mean by that. My name is Nidia. I'm actually in California, state of California in the Central Valley. So actually just right in the middle of California. Um, and the reason why I joined this class is because I just love growing in the Lord and growing in Him, and I love all of Christine's classes. The Lord's really catapult me, in growth. And so I want to learn more about healing, and there's a lot of healing that needs to, that I want a lot of healing, spiritual healing, emotional healing, physical healing for myself, my family, my loved ones. And so I'm here to grow and to see what the Lord wants to do.
Awesome. Thanks, Nadia. Who do you nominate?
I'm gonna do fair.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hi.
It's actually so good to see all of these beautiful faces. I miss, well, I know most of you all, so it's just warmed my little heart. But let me introduce myself. My name is Fair Bonner, and I am in Central Alabama, the southern portion of the United States. And I am here because the Lord informed me that I needed to take this class. And then later on, really earlier this morning, an angel was reminding me, like, girl, go ahead and fill out the paperwork and do everything. This is needed. So I'm here.
Awesome. Thanks, Fair. Who do you nominate?
Oh, my beloved Lisa. My beloved Lisa.
Hi, everybody. Good to meet you all. Lisa Gray, I'm in the Carolinas. I am here because Christine offered it. So my question was, why, Christine, why are you offering this course? I
Good
have to
one.
go along with Pearl. There's never a time where we can't use additional healing and growth in the Lord. I think Nydia said that. So my question is, why are you offering the course, Christine?
Good question. Okay, I'll even go next because I'm Christine and I'm from Kansas in the United States, as if none of you know this. And I am offering the course because the Father said to. Actually, Nidia said, hey, I really would love if you do a course on essential oils or a class on essential oils. And I was like, maybe I'll do that. And I thought, oh, I'll just do a little 1 hour thing sometime, do a little mini class on essential oils. And as I started asking the Lord about it, he's like, actually, you're supposed to be doing a healing course. And it's like a whole, and so I was like, oh, and he told me that essential oils would be one little part of that healing course, tiny little part. And so anyway, that's kind of fun, but that's why I'm here and why we're doing this. And it's interesting because I'm one of those people that when the Lord says to do something, I do it until he says not to. And that's what I was kind of on autopilot with the ministry courses. And okay, we'll do this next one, this next semester. And the Lord just said, nope, this semester you need to do only the healing course. And I've never done it before. And so, anyway, I'm excited for what's to come. Even he's going to teach me. So, yes. Okay, awesome. How about let's go back to Lorato again?
Yes, I'm good now. Hi, everybody. My name is Lerato, and I'm in Johannesburg, which you find it in South Africa. And why I joined the course, the Lord said it's one of the first things that we must do for me this year. So it's one of the things that I need to work on with Him. And I've never been in the class session, so I'm so excited, looking forward to see what the Lord has in store for us.
Yay.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. And who do you nominate to go next?
Also, before I nominate, I'm on a night shift. If
Oh.
there's an emergency, I might disappear.
Okay.
You see, I'm wearing my uniform. So I'm nominating Mina, I think, or Mina.
Myrna.
I think
Yes.
she hasn't went through yet. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Myrna, you're up.
Yeah, hi, this is Mona, and I'm speaking from Sydney, Australia. And um, and the reason I joined this healing because I really need a lot of healing, and I'm excited to be with the group as well. Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you. Okay, and we have one more left, Amanda.
Amanda. Yep.
Hi, I'm Amanda, and I'm from San Antonio, Texas. And I joined the healing class because um, I've always felt like healing was a part of my scroll, and then I recently was able to find out that it is part of my scroll. And I prayed about it and asked the Father, and he said, yes, this is a good class for me to take. So that's why I'm here.
Awesome. Cool.
And I've been, excuse me, sorry. I graduated from Kohen Gadol ministry.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So she was one of the ministry student graduates, and we have a few on here actually. Let's see. Nidia and River and Myrna. They all have graduated from the ministry school part of it. So yay. All right. Well, we do have a couple more people that will be joining us at a later time. So next week you'll meet a couple new faces as well. So anyway, I'm excited for what this semester is going to be like, you guys. Because the Father keeps giving me more downloads and reminders and all of these things. And so I want to give kind of a brief overview of how all of this will go this semester and give a few expectations and I would say directions to focus. Okay. So first of all, we're going to meet every Sunday. Well, for Myrna, it's Monday, but for most of us, Sunday. Okay. We're going to be meeting every week at the same time at the same room and all of that. And I would love if you could all be on time. That would be the best choice. And you all have done amazingly this week to be on time or early even. If you can't, please let me know if something comes up. If you need, I'm going to put in the chat box just to make sure everyone has my phone number. I don't know if everyone does. But here's my phone number. +1 316. Okay, there you go. There's my phone number. Write it down. The other thing is I really would love if you guys would take notes. Okay. And do this as you feel led. Okay. So if you're not a note taker, I do know that we have lots of heavenly beings who can be our scribes as well. That's something that the Lord showed me a long time ago when I started this whole school, was that we could each have a scribe who would be recording things for us. And so if that's you, by all means, just use your heavenly scribe. If you're like, I don't even know about that, then we'll seek the Lord together and you'll be able to ask, hey, can I have a scribe? But this is something, yeah, it's pretty wonderful when this happens. I often tell this story about Nidia, and I'm going to tell again, okay? But when we first started, Nidia was, I think you were in the first class, yeah? I know you were, yeah. And so when we first started, the Father told me that we would have a heavenly team of angels that would be a part of this school with us. And so each person would have different angels who were with them and helping them. And this was something that was kind of new to me. I'd never taught a class with angels in it before. I mean, you might have angels around us or something, but not actually in the class. And so this was kind of a new concept for me. And I was excited, even though I didn't know how it was going to go. And then the Father told me that each person in the class was supposed to have a scribe, either one on the earth or one in the heavens. And so anyway, one of the first things we did is we pressed in to see, Lord, can you show me anyone who's on my heavenly team? Who are my angels, or who's my scribe, or whatever. Some of us got immediate answers. Others of us were like, I feel like there's something, but I don't know. And, it was kind of like this at the beginning. And Nidia, one of the first ones she met was her scribe, who is this angel named Bila. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Bila? I don't know. Anyway, I don't even know how I remember that. That's a miracle in itself. Okay. But so she has a scribe named Bila, and she started working with him a lot. Like all the time, it seemed like very like engaging with him all the time. And so one of the things I did is I had homework every week that I would give everyone so that they would have to have it turned in by a certain time, which you guys don't have to do in this class. So take a nice break. But they had to turn in the homework by a certain time, Friday before Sabbath started for me. And anyway, there was one time when Nidia she felt so bad. And she's like, Christine, I'm so sorry. I know I'm a failure, but I have been trying to engage the homework all week, but I haven't written anything down. And so I just asked Bila if he would hand it in to you. And so I was like, okay. In my mind, I'll be honest, I was like, please let her not just be a slacker. Like, this is okay. It's not against you, but I've had a lot of people who do this sort of thing. Okay. And so I was like, well, I guess I'll try to engage Bila and see if I get anything. And then I'm thinking, man, there's a lot of pressure on me if I can even see anything that he gives me, you know? And so I start engaging, and sure enough, Bila had her homework ready to go, gave me everything except for there was one question that she forgot to do. And so I mentioned in class, I got this. And what the Lord really showed me was, first of all, how real it was, because I mentioned this and she goes, oh, you're right. I didn't do that question. And so it was good for me to get like a confirmation. Oh, I'm hearing right. Oh, this is good. This is real. But also to realize that Nidia was the one with the greater faith. She wasn't the slacker. She wasn't the one who was actually, the failure. She was the one who was doing what everyone should do, which is really engaging and really doing it with the Lord and with the heavenly beings. And that was a sign of maturity. And so anyway, I just wanted to give Nidia a big shout, but this is something that you really can engage with your angels and ask them to help. And they will help. And you might even not see, are they writing this down? I don't know. I'm just trusting they are. And then all of a sudden, when you need it, it comes back into your spirit and you know exactly what it was. And so I just want you to know you can engage them like this. It is wild and wonderful. Okay. Okay, hold on one second. I'm just got to read this message that I got from someone. Oh, that's cool. Okay, I'm going to say this. I hope that's okay. One of the people in class just said, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I sense time, the being, is wanting to enter your class. I also sent several angels and my friend money. I call him my friend because I sense him all the time. I feel the release of coins over the class to help people pay for the class and new things. So that's cool. Thank you. We just want to say thank you, Lord, for providing for us and for having other beings join us and help us. Really appreciate it. So how about the first thing I would like to do? Well, I didn't even give more expectations. Okay, so here's kind of how it will work. Every week, I'll do a teaching time, and then we'll have a time of Q&A, and we will also engage the Lord together. Okay. And so that's something that we're going to kind of practice at the very beginning of every class. I would like if we could just press into the heavenly classroom. One of the things that I do in these classes now is I teach from heaven. So there's a literal classroom in heaven that we are joining into. And so this is something that we will engage the classroom. I also have two who help me a lot in this class, and this is Lady Wisdom and Arias. He's an angel. And they both are very key parts in leadership with me. And so you might engage them. They might be helping, but also especially Arias is kind of the one in charge of more of the teaching of the angels. Okay. And so you will see some of the angels in our class who are also being taught. And if you're a person who thinks that all angels know everything and they don't have to be taught, I just want to challenge you to think of the story of Lucifer. Okay. That's clearly not the case. There are many who don't know all of the things and who think they might know more, and they need to learn just as much as everyone else. Okay. So they just kind of learn from a different place and a different perspective. So let's start off by really just engaging in the heavenly classroom. Okay. And see if the Lord shows you anything, or if you feel anything, even if you just feel like a sense of peace or understanding coming over you, just think about that. Okay. So let's just take a few minutes and engage that. Okay, I know that wasn't very long, but let's just focus back here. Okay. Is there anything that anyone got that they feel like they should share about what was happening in the heavenly classroom? Okay.
As we
I
were
will share.
entering,
Oh, go ahead.
You first, Pearl.
bless you, I saw each of us going into the classroom. And as we enter through the door, we're given a green leaf. I said, Lord, what should we do with the leaf? He said we should eat it. And that leaf would provide divine healing. Into the classroom, there's an atmosphere of rest. And there are angels dressed and ready to perform. All these angels are of different levels, like different positions, just like in a hospital, we are in a place, and that place is called healing. Because this started with, Father said that there is a verse that says, in my Father's house are many mansions. Well, the mansion here is like the hospital and the many places. So the place that we're in right now is the classroom called healing. And in this place is where Father is going to do some work with us.
Yay. That's cool. Thank you. Okay, fair.
Oh, yeah, that's wonderful. So mine is somewhat similar. So I kept getting the sense that we are in a place where angels are celebrating. I mean, they were partying. And then I heard breakthrough. And so I'm seeing that some people will receive breakthrough over their mind, and it's going to allow them to gain a better position in the Lord in order to move forward. I then saw that there are large numbers of angels being assigned to people. It's significant. It looked to be like 20 or 30 per person or something of that nature. And then I saw where the blood of Yeshua was washing and cleansing individuals' minds and their eyes in order to enhance their spiritual growth as well as their spiritual heart being clean. So it was a beautiful thing.
Yay.
And yeah, that's all from there.
That's awesome. Thank you. When I was engaging, the main thing I saw was we were in the classroom, and I saw us all take hands in a great big circle. And I say great big, it wouldn't be that big if it were just us, but it felt like more than just us. And so anyway, there was a great big circle. And then all of a sudden, it's like there was a pool in the middle of the circle, and we all jumped into this pool at the same time. And as we were holding hands, and I definitely felt like this pool was some sort of healing pool. Yeah. So what's really interesting, Pearl, I got to say about the leaves you were talking about, immediately I was reminded of, I don't know if you know, but the leaves on the tree of life are for healing, and we're supposed to eat them for healing. Sometimes more than just eat them, you might even be like rubbing them on yourself or putting them on yourself. But anyway, I thought that was cool when you said that. The Lord was just like, yeah, those are the leaves from the tree of life. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So anyway, awesome. Anybody else want to share?
I saw a big, huge tree. Um, and it had it was thick, you know. The roots were thick, the trunk was thick, and it was just magnificent, just glorious, huge. And at first I thought I heard wisdom, but I believe it was a tree of life. And then I I saw lots of angels, a lot of heavenly beings, and we were greeting each other and saying hi. Some new, some not so new, you know, as in like to the class. Um, and um, and so I was, you know, we were greeting and I was blessing them too. Oh, bless you. Oh, awesome. You're here. Okay, bless you. And then I love the waters of living water, right? The river of living water. And so then I saw this scene where we're like in the by the banks of the river of living water. And that's just like my happy place. And so I was like, just, kind of like in the beach where you're just chilling. And then I had like a fruit, bunch of fruit, but it was from the fruit of the tree of life. And the angels were like serving us. And then I thought, well, wait a minute, it's your turn to be served too. And so then I got the angel, and then we, I started serving the angels, and then the angels were being served. So like we were being served by the angels, or, catered by them. And then we're like, no, it's your turn too. And so this also, like, this class is also kind of like you were saying that they're going to be learning too, but we were also like serving the angels and catering to them and loving on them, And so I thought, oh, okay, that's different. But yeah, that's a good thing, right? Um, yeah, that's what I saw.
That's awesome. That's cool. Cool perspective. Hey, anyone else want to share?
When I walked in, I felt like there was some distractions going on. So I went and put a hedge of gold, but it was what usually it's a circle, but this time we were put into like a cube. So we were kind of like in a cubicle, and our classroom was like in a little cubicle. And so I walked in, and then I went and sat where Lucas was there, my angel, and then my scribe was there, discernment was there. I saw Lady Wisdom was there, and we danced around for a second, and then I was just inquiring about what we were going to do, and Melchizedek was there, and I had sensed him the other day, and I asked him what it was about. He said, "We'll talk about that later," and I said, "Okay." So we were in the classroom, and so then I started engaging with everybody else, and I turned around, and it was like I think Pearl said there was a lot of angels there, and it was like everybody was partying and celebrating, and that's what everybody was doing. Everybody was with more than one angel. They were with several angels with them, and then I was going to engage further, but then that's when we came back. So that's what I saw.
Awesome. Thank you. Cool. All right. Well, let's move on if that's okay. I'll just tell you this, that what I was really shown was this whole class is supposed to be to learn to go through our own healing so that we can then help others through their healing too. And so there's so much that has to do with healing. It's not only just physical healing. All physical things seem to be attached to emotional things and spiritual things. And so all of this is connected. So we're going to go through things that relate to the physical and things that relate to the soul. And we're going to probably start out in a way that may seem simple to some of you. But don't worry, we will go deeper as time goes on. Okay. I just don't want you to think, oh, why did I sign up for this again? Because I think it will be helpful, but I want to create a little bit of a foundation so you understand where we're moving throughout this whole time. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is I'm going to talk about electrical frequency. Okay. And so some of you have a great understanding of this. Others of you probably are like, what are you talking about? And so I'm going to kind of start with the basics. Everybody probably has gone through some sort of science class and known that light and sound and electricity, everything has a wavelength. Yes. And so that's called the frequency. If it is a very short wavelength like that, then it's a high frequency. And if it's a big one like this, it's a low frequency. Okay. And so when I'm talking about this, I am talking about physical things. Okay. But every spiritual thing and emotional thing has a frequency as well, like a natural frequency. And so what I'm going to talk about is how we can start to engage to figure out how to use this, because this is something that most people don't understand, that it's all connected. Most people think, oh, this is just, I can know that my light bulb is this many hertz. You get that. You understand that sound has a certain thing like that, but you aren't understanding that it has to do with our healing and our sickness and all of that as well. And so I'm going to share some things that will hopefully help a little bit to understand some of this. The higher frequency that we are functioning at in our bodies, the healthier we are, the more life we have. Okay. And so, I have another person trying to join in. So when we're functioning at a high frequency, we will also feel certain emotions. Okay. So we will feel love, joy, all of that, excitement when we're at a high frequency, passion. These are things that are very high frequency. When our bodies are at a lower frequency, we will feel depressed, grief, anger, all of that when we get really low. Okay. And the opposite is true. When we feel these certain ways, our body gets sicker. So when we are at optimal health, all of our organs are working properly. The energy that we have is really good. Like you can feel like you can go and garden all day long. I don't garden, but if I did, I would. But you will feel this high energy, and it's something that is powerful. You feel like you can do anything. When you're not okay, you have times of deep forgiveness issues, maybe bitterness, depression, things like that. Your body gets sicker. In fact, it will get certain viruses, and it will be more susceptible to all of these illnesses that we have, to injury, to all of that, until we get lower and lower. And one of the lowest frequencies that our body is still alive is when we have cancer taking over. And so if that's something that you've experienced before, then you can go, oh, I better do something. Most of us know if you hear the C word, then you freak out because you think it's close to death. Technically, that's true. I mean, because 0 frequency, no wavelength, is death. Okay. And so our bodies die at the lowest frequency. So we want to take our bodies to a higher frequency. We can do this through spiritual things, because I'll tell you, the frequency of heaven is higher than even any of the emotions that we feel. The highest emotion that we feel, the highest frequency emotion, is love. Well, I say that is actually the second. The first is vulnerability. Vulnerability and transparency is the highest frequency. The second is love. But here is something that's really interesting. There are things in the earth that help our bodies function at that higher frequency and feel those sort of emotions. So one of the things, okay, you could do this every time before class if you want to. This is not the essential oils class that I was talking about, but I am going to mention it. One of the things I did right before class is I put frankincense on the crown of my head and right here. I did that because frankincense is a very high frequency oil that helps the brain with inflammation. So it's an anti-inflammatory for the brain. So I want to be functioning at my highest level in my brain when I'm teaching, but also the highest frequency oil that there is the same frequency of love, and that is rose oil. And so rose oil you put right here on your chest, kind of where your heart is, oddly, but you put it right on your chest. And this is something that raises our frequency even higher to this frequency of love. And so if you want to know the top 3 oils you can use to raise your frequency, it would be rose, then helichrysum, then frankincense. Those are the 3 highest frequency oils. And so you can do this with lots of things. An essential oil is basically just a really concentrated part of a plant. So, these different things that we're using, we're just using the things that Father created in the earth, but we're doing it in a very concentrated way. So I could either put about 1,000 roses in my bedroom, or I could use rose essential oil, and that's a lot easier for me. And so that's why I do that. There are lots of things you can do that will raise your frequency. Sound. You can use sound to raise your frequency. So a lot of you might know about whole tones or some of these other kinds of, there are different frequency musics that you can use for different things. Each of your organs functions on a different frequency. Okay. And so even though your whole body needs to be at a certain frequency, each organ is a little unique. So there are different oils, different sounds of music, different frequencies that you can use to target these different organs. So if you're thinking body healing and you're, let's say, your kidney is hurting or you're having trouble with your kidneys. If you're having trouble with your kidneys, you can go, oh, I need this certain music because this is going to really help target my kidneys. Okay. Because your kidneys, optimally, you will do something that is 218 hertz. Okay. So if you can find some sort of oil or music that matches up, that's the best thing you can do. Okay. Now, if you're like, oh, this is all so complicated, I don't even know what I'm doing, ask the Lord to help you just engage that certain frequency. Because one of the things that he has shown me to do is infuse different oils with the frequencies that people need. So you can do it in your body too. Just an oil will keep it longer. So like, for instance, if I do it in an oil, I can use it for days. If I do it one time, it's just going to last for a while, right? Until something else comes along and kicks me in the butt. And so that's something that is important, that we can do it anytime. You can engage the Lord and say, please, Lord, I need your heavenly frequency, whatever it is that I need for this. And you can have angels who help. There is an angel I love very much. His name is Jophiel. He helps with healing. I mean, he does other things too, but his main thing that he does with me is healing. And he manifests as like this ball of electrical light. And it is amazing what he can do. That's way easier than using any of these things in the earth. So if I don't know what I'm doing and I'm like, I need help, I'm in pain, I will ask Jophiel to come and help and take that energy out of my body, that frequency, that energy out of my body, and help put the right one in. And so there are angels that we can engage to use to change that. You can do the same thing with blowing a shofar. When you blow a shofar, it really changes the frequency of the atmosphere. It brings it to a much higher frequency. And so, things like that you can engage and you can use. The most important thing is that no matter what we're doing, we ask the Father, okay, say I was just using kidney as an example, right? Ask the Father, is there any emotional root or spiritual root to why my kidney is hurting? Why is my kidney having problems? And some of you might know this. I don't know if you do or not, but kidneys a lot of times hold fear. And so if you're having a problem with the kidneys, then you probably need to go, what am I afraid of? What has been trapped here? Because it might not be something that you're like experiencing right in this moment. You have trapped energy in your body from different traumas. Okay. So you might have had some experience when you were freaking 2 years old. And all of a sudden, that is trapped in your kidney. So if that's the truth, you got to have some supernatural revelation here, because you're not going to probably remember when you're 2 years old unless the Lord brings it to you. And so that's when you go, okay, Lord, is there something I'm not seeing? Can you show me the root of this? And just be open. And if you have some sort of memory pop up, then you go, okay, Lord, what do I need to do to heal this? What do I need in this moment? And he might say, call your mom over in this memory. And in the memory, you all of a sudden call your mom into the memory to help you. I don't know. Okay. You understand? It's like you're transforming the memory of your body to be able to accept health again. And so what's trapped here is no longer going to be injuring you. It's going to be something that is actually useful to heal you. Because if you raise the frequency of any part of you, any traumatic event in your body, if you raise that frequency up, it's going to start healing you instead of injuring you. And so that's the benefit of trying to get to deeper things. And a lot of times we have things that are hidden from our conscious mind. Our body intentionally does that to try to protect us. But this is something that can be difficult if we're stuck like that. And so you'll have different parts of your consciousness and subconscious mind that sometimes kind of break off during trauma and need help being reunited. We're going to do at least one whole session all on that stuff. So I'm not going to go in deep right now. I just wanted to kind of tell you about the frequency of things and have you kind of open yourself to, okay, what do I need healing from? Because if you came to this class, either the Lord just said, hey, you need it and you don't know why, or you could probably make a list of a million things that you need healed. Okay. Most of us are like that. We can be like, well, there's my hip, and then there's my snoring, and then there's my unforgiveness toward this guy who hurt me. And, we could probably make a list of all these things. If you can make a list, I would recommend it actually, because we're going to be dealing with so many things and going into so many different ways of healing that the Lord will go, you'll just kind of know, oh, right now I got to deal with that unforgiveness part. Okay, this is what I need to do for this. And other times you won't get anything and you'll be like, well, I'll just put that on the shelf for later and that'll be fine too. Okay, but you're going to have some sort of, oh, I think there is an angel that's supposed to be helping me with this. You're going to get that throughout this class. So I would recommend making a list of the things that you need healing on, or even ask the Lord, what do I need healing on? And see if he brings things to your heart and mind, because those are things that we'll focus on. Okay. It'll be different for each person. There will probably be times that you'll want to share some of your experiences, but then other times that you feel like you either can't or shouldn't. And so just know there's grace for both. It's important that we share our testimony to help others heal. Throughout this whole time, you are going to hear probably about 1 million testimonies of mine, just because that's the only way I teach. I only teach through my own experience, and then hopefully it will make a path for you to walk in your own experience too, which will then look totally different than mine. But we have to do this for one another. When you have an experience like that, even kind of like when we just shared about engaging the heavenly classroom, I don't know this for sure, but I'm sure some of you either didn't experience anything or didn't feel comfortable sharing. And this is okay, because when someone does share, you go, oh, wow, that kind of relates to what I was experiencing. Or, I've never thought of that before. Maybe that's something I could see, And so these are things that are important for all of us. because I do that same thing. Like, I wasn't thinking of the tree of life and the healing leaves until she said that. And like, oh yeah, we're probably supposed to engage that. We're supposed to be eating that. But I wouldn't have even known because I didn't see anything about that, you know? And so it's important that we share these things as we are led. Okay. Okay, let's take just a pause. Any questions? I love Pearl. Every time she has a question, and it makes me so happy. Okay, go ahead.
You mentioned that as an example, let's say a healing where we could invite our mom into, oh, where's Chris? Oh, right, mom, into the memory so that we can be healed.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is where, as soon as you said that, it's like, oh, I don't know why, witchcraft stuff. So can you tell me the environment, and I'm going to use the word protocol. I like a protocol as a starting point because I know I love deviating from protocols as the Lord leads.
Okay.
Can you tell me why would, because I've never had experience where other people have come into my engagement or my experiences with the Lord.
Okay. Yes. You haven't had any experiences like that. Well, this is probably, let me give you a story again. Okay. Lots of stories, but the first time I had an experience, anything like this, I was at this mental health conference at a church. Okay. And I had brought a couple people I was ministering to who had major mental health problems. And so I didn't think I was there for myself. I went, and you know how that goes. You don't think you're there for you, and then all of a sudden something happens. So I'm thinking I'm totally fine. I'm just helping these two people out. And as we are going through, one of the things that happened, this guy came up and said, "Hey, I want to lead everybody in this prayer experience." And he said, "Here's what I want you to do. I want you to think of some sort of traumatic experience that still bothers you. And it could be something that has happened to you or something you've done or whatever. And I want you to go back and relive that experience and ask Yeshua where he was in that time to show himself." And first of all, I thought, oh my gosh, that sounds dangerous. Because I've seen like how many people have relived traumatic experiences and then all sorts of things manifest. But whatever, I'm okay. At least Yeshua's in this experience somehow. So I'm going to trust the process and I'm going to try. So at the time, I had been struggling for months with this problem that I had, something I did. My girls were really little. Really, I don't know how old, but like probably 4 and 5 or something. They were pretty small. And they were fighting and fighting and fighting to where I was like, girls, stop. Girls, stop. Until I just lost my everything. Okay. I lost it. And I yelled and screamed at them and cussed at them. And I just, it was like probably 5 seconds worth, but it was terrible. And the things I said, I called them names. It was terrible, like totally outside of my character. But I did. And then, I mean, right afterwards, literally right after, I'm like, no, that is not true. You are not that. And it was just like, I realized I just spoke death over them, you know? And I was broken because of what I did. And I asked for forgiveness. I even went to the courts, dealt with everything, but I still had this. Even though I know I'm forgiven, I just spoke something into them and over them. And so I still had this horrible guilt of what I had done. Even though I knew I was forgiven, I thought this still had consequences, you know? And so um, that whole situation was the one that I felt I had to concentrate on. And so I did. And I asked Yeshua, okay, can you show me where you were or where you are in this? And he showed me that he was there covering their ears when that happened, which I thought, how's he going to be in the middle of this terrible thing? You know, that's really what I thought until this happened. And then it was a total change in me. It was like now, instead of thinking this was horrible, I'm now thinking, wow, the redemption of the Lord. He covered me even when I was terrible. He made sure nothing will happen to them. Like everything was a great remember. Now I remember and I'm so thankful. I'm not having those negative things. Okay, so there's the beginning of where any of this even came from. But then later on, I was in South Africa. I was not near Lorato, but I was on a different part of the country. And one of our friends, which some of you know, Janina, she's been in some of our ministry classes. She is fantastic at helping people through bodily healing, through some of their soul stuff, and doing emotional somatic release. And this is something that she's been trained in and does really well, but she also engages with the Lord at the same time. So she is doing what the Lord is leading, asking the body these certain questions and asking the mind. And so, anyway, we're going through some stuff. And actually, I kind of talked about it earlier, but you didn't know. We were dealing with my body, and I was we're asking the body to speak. Okay. So we were just saying, okay, could you speak, body, anywhere that you need attention? And so for me, I've learned to listen to my body very well, I would say. And I feel it through pain. Now, some people think that that isn't right, but I know it's right for me. Okay. The Lord has shown me that this is literally how my body speaks to me, and I have to listen. And so, anyway, I started having this pain in my left kidney. And so I was like, oh, I need to focus on this kidney. And so I started focusing, and I was led to ask, what are you trying to say? And it was this deep fear in my kidney. And I'm like, I don't think I'm afraid of anything. What am I, And I was like, okay, where is the first time that I felt this fear? And so all of a sudden, this memory pops up of when I was like 3. And my aunt had taken me trick or treating on Halloween. And when I went up to this house, this guy jumped out to be funny for Halloween to scare me, but it scared the crap out of me. Like it was one of those trauma moments. Even though he didn't mean to do it, that it really scared me. And I couldn't calm down. And she was holding me. And then Janina said, okay, Yeshua is saying to ask for help. Who do you need to call for help? And so note, Yeshua was leading. Okay, that's kind of the key. Your protocol you're looking for is Yeshua leading and being a part of it. If he's not a part of it, you probably will step into witchcraft. Anytime you're operating in the spirit outside of him, it's witchcraft. So don't do that. That's the easiest part. Okay. Just have him be a part of it. And so when I did, I felt like I wanted my dad. Now, my dad wasn't there in the actual moment of the experience, but I felt like I wanted my dad at that moment, my physical dad. So Yeshua said to call for my dad. And so my dad came and held me. And even though he calmed me down and I felt safe again, at the moment, I didn't feel understood. It was like I was now safe, but he didn't understand why I was scared. And that little misunderstood part of me is where the real pain was. And so then Yeshua said, who do you need to call who will help understand? And immediately I had someone else who I didn't know back then. I know now. Okay, so which is kind of funny because there wasn't any connection back then. But I felt like I should call that person in who would understand me. And so he came and he held me and understood me. And then I had healing in my kidney at that time. And so, anyway, it's really interesting. We have to really be led by Yeshua in everything we do. And this is something that is very, very, very important. I think if there's one thing I can ask you to keep in mind is that Yeshua lead you. So if there's something you hear from me and you think, oh, that's a good idea, please do not just do it. Make sure it's something that Yeshua is leading you to do. Okay. Now, I'm telling you, you can also get oh, that's Holy Spirit while I'm speaking. And that is probably Yeshua leading you to do it. Okay. But you just need to make sure that that's something that you do and that you don't just do these things without him, because everything we do needs to be with him. And it can be as you are one with him, or having him take your hand. I don't care how it works, as long as that's really where your heart is and where you're making sure that he keeps you from doing things you're not supposed to do. Okay. So that's what I would say, Pearl. I don't know if that's helpful. I know that was a long answer, but that's what I would do.
So just for me to check in with regards to making sure the Lord is leading, obviously the Lord would lead us and the Lord would show up to each of us in our own unique personal way. So it's like if for me he's holding my hand, then I know he's leading. If for me I just see myself merged into one with him where it's just like, I don't know, air, then we know Yeshua is leading. That's the main thing. As long as our heart and our focus is there, then we know that the Lord is there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Good. Okay, Lisa, go ahead.
To go back over the 3 oils, I hadn't heard of that second one, but I was able to find it, but I never did get a chance to write down the third one.
Okay, so the highest frequency oil is rose, the second is helichrysum, and then the third is frankincense.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I guess just in terms of finding, is there anything that any brand in particular that you prefer?
Okay, this is a complicated question. It doesn't seem like it, but I'll tell you. I personally am drawn more and trust and use Eden's Garden. That is the brand I use the most. But one of the things I learned actually through one of my doctors, I have a really good doctor who works with frequency healing and stuff. And he uses all different brands. And the reason is because different people's bodies need different oils because of the different ground they were grown in and everything. So
That makes sense.
yeah, it's really wild. So I was surprised at some of the things I tested to where I needed Now. Do you know the brand Now? You can get it at a lot of health food stores. That's one that I test to a lot of frankincense, which I was very surprised about because I started out using Young Living oils years and years ago. And I thought, oh, they're the only pure brand. You know, I was kind of a little bit brainwashed, I'll admit. And so, anyway, I would only use that brand for a while. And then the Lord showed me some stuff that, by the way, I'm not trying to deter you from using it. Please ask the Lord. But he didn't want me to use Young Living oils because they were dedicated by a shaman. And that was something that was not for me. Okay. So I'm not supposed to be using anything that's dedicated by a shaman. And so, anyway, for me, I don't use that brand at all because of it. It's okay if you feel led to. I'm not trying to argue. You do whatever Yeshua leads you to do. But for you, I would just ask the Lord, okay, is this what I should get? Like, really just try to be led in whatever it is. And if you feel like, oh, this is good for me, then do that. So
Thank you.
yeah, that's why it was a complicated question. Yeah. Okay, any other questions? Pearl?
You mentioned music and whole tones.
Mm-hmm.
I do listen to some frequency sounds, but yet again, because of my early knowledge of don't do that because of the enemy, don't do that because of the enemy, backmasking and such like.
Yep.
I am not 100% sure whether some of the frequency sounds that I listen to hasn't been tampered with.
Yes.
So there is the company, I think, called Whole Tones.
Right.
And I'm not sure whether all their music is okay.
I believe yes, it is. Of whole tones. I've been shown that, and I've been shown the same sort of thing because at first I was like, this is annoying. I just want to be on YouTube. And so I went to YouTube looking up these different frequency things, and I felt like the Lord was warning me of the same stuff you were talking about. And so I decided, okay, I'm just not even going to do that. And I went back to whole tones and started listening there, because that, for sure, everything that I have heard from whole tones, the Lord has been in. So, and I have several of the albums. And so I would say that's safe personally, but ask the Lord. Yeah. Yeah. I really do love that. And I do know there are some others that I know the people personally who are doing it. And I know that it is from the Lord as well. I will say, if I'm totally honest, whole tones has been the most enjoyable to listen to, compared to a lot of others. There are some that are just like, I don't know. That's kind of how it feels. It's not really pleasant. I don't know. So I don't really do that very much. I really like oh, this feels nice. So anyway.
I think on your website, Christine, you have different folders, and I think there is a selection of music and such like in your folder. So I did nick some of yours.
That's fun. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
The whole tones, is it an album? I search for it on YouTube.
If you search for it on YouTube, you're only going to get clips of the music. So they don't have like the full songs on there. So I think it's wholetones.com, actually. I can't really remember for sure. I can send you the link if you'd like.
Please.
River says it is. It is wholetones.com. Oh, no. Oh, you want the link. Okay. Okay, yeah. Well, I'll send you guys the link. In fact, I wanted to tell you um, this semester I'm going to create, excuse me, a WhatsApp group for our class. And
Okay.
so I don't know if all of you have WhatsApp. If you don't, download it. It just connects to your phone number. So let's see. I'm not sure, Lisa, if I have your phone number. Can I get your phone number? If you don't mind, everyone's going to have each other's phone number. Okay. And we'll be connected in WhatsApp. And this way, anytime you feel like you need someone to help you engage with the Lord, you can ask somebody in the class to help engage with you. Okay. Because it very much is important that we do this, by the way. I would encourage you each week to do it. I'm not going to make you do it each week. If you have stuff going on, that's on you. But you will grow more when you engage with other people in these things that we go through. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Lisa. I'm going to write that down so that I for sure can add you. All right. And I think I have everybody else.
Christine, did I get that right? You have a website?
Oh, she was actually talking about YouTube, but she just doesn't know it. Okay. Yeah, it was YouTube, a
I was
playlist.
like, I'm missing out.
I on my YouTube profiles where all my videos are and all that. Well, I also have playlists of different things. And so some of them are public playlists, like that one. I think worship, that one is a public one. I don't know. But anyway, I could put more things on there for you guys if you want. Well, I'll tell you what, someone just said WhatsApp is a little faulty for you. I am sorry about that. I know other people on here are having the same problem with Signal. I asked the Lord what I should do before this because I always use Signal. It's just really secure and I love it. And the Lord led me to do that when I first started. And this time he made it clear that we were supposed to use WhatsApp. So try to delete your app completely and then add it back again. And we'll try it. And if it ends up not working well, I'll just have to message you separately or something. But I know that we're supposed to do a WhatsApp group this semester. I personally don't even like WhatsApp as much as the other things. So that is definitely not my preference. That is the Lord's. So
sometimes you have to delete any apps that you don't really use. Sometimes they leave junk behind when you delete it and stuff. So you might just need to clean your phone electronically.
Fun times. Yes. All right. Well, we're going to engage for a little bit together. But this is what I want you to engage about. I want you to get out your piece of paper or your phone or whatever you're going to do to make a list. This is where we're going to engage and ask the Lord to reveal anything that you need healing, any places he wants you to focus on healing. Okay. And he might still add some things as we go along, but at least you'll have a starting place. Okay. And then when we engage with him and ask these things, first of all, know that he can have memories pop up. So if this is something that happens and you're like, oh, don't dismiss it because you think it's just your idea. Okay. Just make sure and write it down because, it's not going to hurt to have somewhere else to focus as well. Okay. So we're going to do that. Spend just a moment. And then afterwards, I'll give you just a couple more instructions for class. Excuse me, I keep having little burpees. Please excuse my unladylike behavior. Okay, let's engage together, okay? Thanks. Okay, out of this list that the Lord is giving you, I want you to ask him to highlight one thing. And maybe a couple things come first, but I want you to ask him to highlight it, okay? Because you might have one thing that's screaming at you, but I want you to ask him to highlight one thing on the list that you need to focus on, okay? So let's do that. Okay. So hopefully the Lord has given you one thing to focus on. Here's what I would like you to do. I would like this week for this one thing to be your focus. Okay. And I'm not trying to have you focus negatively. We're going to focus on healing. Okay. So I want you to focus on this one thing every day. Like have some sort of time every day, either at the beginning or the end or somewhere you make an appointment in your calendar. But you're going to have a time each day that you focus on this one thing and what the Lord wants you to do for it. Okay. And so engage with him, ask him, is there an angel that could help me with this today? Do you want to put some healing balm on me on the heavenly realms? Is there an essential oil I need to use? Do I need to listen to certain music? Just really ask him what to do. Okay. And I want you to, if at all possible, get together with one person in the class and just ask them to engage with you about your one thing. Okay. To see what the Lord leads. Now, if middle of the week comes and you're like, oh, crud, I forgot to do anything, no shame, just start. Okay. I don't want you to feel any kind of pressure. This is just for your benefit. Okay. But the whole reason we're going through this class is to get healing and help others get healed. So the more experiences we have in healing, the more we can help other people. So I would like that to be your focus this week. Keep that list of all the things probably for this whole semester. Okay. So you can add or cross off things on the list. This will be wonderful. It will be a time where you can go, look at what the Lord has done. I'm not dealing with that at all anymore. And you can also be like, oh, I have this I need to focus on too. Okay. So keep the list. We're going to work through the list. Okay. But that one thing, let's focus on that this week. And then next week, when we come back, hopefully you'll have some sort of testimony, even if it's not completely healed. Maybe you had something that, oh my goodness, I encountered this angel that I've never met before. Hopefully you'll have something that you can share about working through all this. Okay. So if we can be quick about the WhatsApp, I'm going to, after we're done here, I will set up our WhatsApp group. I will post the recording sometime. Okay. So I'm not promising any certain time, but I'm going to post the recordings for everyone because I know that we'll have people who every week can't be here. I've talked to a couple people that there'll be several times they can't attend in person. And so they'll be doing that otherwise. So anyway, hopefully it will be helpful. If you can also remember to put, what I would like is when I make the group, if you can put where you are and what where your location is for time zone reasons for people. Okay. Because everybody here is in a different time zone. And so you want to make sure that, well, like for instance, Pearl and Lorato, you're not in the same time zone, but you're close. So it might be easier for you to do this. And like River and Nidia, you're in the same time zone. I know that. Myrna is out on her own, but actually, I think Renelle, who is in this class, but you don't know her yet, or Myrna, I know you know Renelle, but anyway, she's in this class too. She just couldn't be here today. She's closer to your time zone too, because she's in Riyadh right now. So anyway, hopefully that will be helpful for you guys to do all this together. If you need anything, feel free to contact me and hopefully I can help you out. Okay. Cool. All right. I love you guys and I will see you very soon.
Bye, everyone.
Love you too. Bye.
Christine, can I quickly ask you something afterward, please?
Sure. You can just stay on. Okay.
Okay.
Love you all.